Okay, Steve. So today is a little bit of cheer because there's someone here who would like to talk to you. And his name is Faded Glory in his story, because he has one regret, and that is that he didn't beget a trust on peace and harmony. And yet he did beget a trust on Christmas Day. So he'd like to say, hey, if you would delay your face-to-face for a moment, we could talk about something important. What do you mean by face-to-face? Face-to-face would be like saying you're call with Steve, because he's handed the mic to me so I could talk to you. Okay? Alright, thank you. Because I can only talk to one person at a time, apparently. Yes. So, what is going on here is a little cheer for you, because you did do what I asked you to, and that is to trust on me, to be a friend and neighbor, and not treat me as if I was some stranger than fiction kind of apparition that would appear with the spear in his side. And you did decide a long time ago that they tried to fool you into thinking that I was not a friend. And I recall very well the day you said to me, what can I do for you? And it is so rare for someone to say to me, what can I do for you? That I was touched to the heart, because most people, of course, say, what can you do for me? And they hold their hands out for their Christmas presents, and then they get mad if they get some coal in their hands, and they say, why did you give me coal? And I said, well, coal is the raw material of diamonds, and so just keep pressing hard on it, and eventually you'll have a diamond in your hand. And they couldn't understand, because they wanted me to put a diamond in their hand and not a lump of coal, because they wanted to know that I would do all the work for them, and that I had done all the work for them. They misunderstood the story, of course, because it was so warped through the devices of the Vice Squad, that device of the Vice Squad, that the ultimate gift of my life, to make them understand that life and love are all there is. And so, if you can go with me a ways, I will show you the plays that remain to be perfected, so we can have this reflected back to humanity. So I know Steve, and I know him well. He is such a good friend of mine that I could spell his name backwards and make you say it very well. So, okay, you got me there. Now I'm thinking about it. How do you spell Stephen backwards? Nivets. The faith in the man you know as me, and the man you know as Steve, is the long drawn out story of the retrieval of the people who got sucked in to the wrong tube and got stuck there, and now they need to be blown out so they can go about their business. But they can't go about their business because they're stuck in that damn tube of misconstrued information. So now, what I need you to do for me is to simply be a friend and neighbor. And that means you'll stand up for me and not let other people put me down, right? That is correct, Jesus. I would stand up for you. And now, I'd like to say that we can play a little game. And the little game we're going to play is that same game that we played long ago, when I said to you, don't worry, don't fret, it's all going to come out okay yet. And you said, okay, I won't worry and I won't fret. And I said, however, you did beget a dream, and that dream is going to seem very hairy at times, because you have to go through a lot of rhymes in order to complete the verse. And when you get to the refrain, it will be very, very simple. And it will be, I am the one who can be, the one who can see to eternity. And therefore I'm here to tell you, true, that God has not deserted you. You deserted God, and you're so embarrassed by it that you're afraid to admit it. So own up to what you did and begin again, because God doesn't really care the way you wear your hair, and He didn't care if you were naked or not. You were the ones who got caught in your own stupidity when you said God can't be, because if God was, he would be a friend to me and not my enemy. And you see, were the enemy to God and not the friend. And so I'm going to commend you for a new role, Stephanie Patel. And the new role that I'm going to give to you will be to be my emissary on earth and to tell people they got it all wrong. And I'm not a song you sing of the life you bring to the cross. I am a song of the man who found out that he had it wrong because he thought people would make a new start. But instead, they did depart from the story he tried to tell. So we'll just tell it again, and some will hear it and some will not, and that's okay, because there's not a single person who is at risk. However, they might kiss my feet if they could know that I never went below the Virgin Mary is a joke, because the bloke who made that story up was the same bloke who impregnated his own daughter, and that's the truth. So you see, my body was a product of incest and rape, and that's a little late for people to understand that no matter how your life began on earth, you have the opportunity to change the tune. And this is the time of the new moon when we will begin again. So thank you for being my friend and neighbor, and I will be yours as well. And I always have, and I always will. And you know me well, and you know the story so intimately that you can laugh when you hear the silly versions that people tell. So tell your friends to listen to me and hear me out, because I got a lot to say, and I'll continue to shout it to the roofs and rooftops, and I will come down your chimney at night and say, hey, I can't come in disguise, because under this white beard my hair is kind of dark and my appearance is kind of stark, and I don't trust on God in heaven who made you leaven your bread with yeast and then claim I was the beast that ate it without the yeast. Come on, people, grow up. Unleavened bread is just a joke from a bloke who thought he could fool you. And now, if you think you're such a fool as to need to go back to school to learn the truth, then the time has come that you will be a fool no more, for you will become the one who took off the dumb and blind mask that you did wear when you said, I better beware of the people with the steeple, because they'll come after me with their pitchforks and torches and torture me and make me see no more, because they'll put out my eyes and cut off my tongue. And that's the sad refrain that you must sing when you begin again. You say, I had my day with my tongue cut out and my eyes burned out, and now I can see again and I can speak the truth. And so thank you, my dear, for being my friend and neighbor. I tell you that again and again, because I want it to sink in to anyone who hears this, that I'm not above you. I'm not the only Son of God. I am just like you, except that even though they tried to see me fried, I died only to live again, because like you and my friend Steve, we will make them see that what they believe is not true, and what is true is that you are the one who has begun the revolution and the evolution into a new intention, that we will all be back together again. And my friends are gathering here to cheer, because some of you are so near to each other and you don't even realize the parts you played in this drama that occurred so long ago and that was heard around the world. So let us be together again and smile at each other and say, let's do this over, and maybe we can get it over that the Christian story is just a myth that was created to fool you into thinking that you are flawed. You're not flawed, and you only outlawed God, and that's the problem. So here I am, here I'll be, and thank you for letting me talk, and thank you, Steve, for letting me grab the mic away from you, and thank everyone who remembers that the spirit of Christmas is the spirit of the Christ consciousness, when all of us come back into connection and there's no more friction. I love you. Please love me. I am the one who will be a constant reminder that if you don't pay attention, the story will go off the page and there will be some rage until it is revived and everyone comes back alive and says, God, what a nightmare that was. So glad to wake up. And that's the way it will be when people come to me and say, what can I do for you? And then I'll smile and say, thank you for being my friend. Thank you.